A few weeks ago, I explained the way that sailors keep time at sea by striking the ship's bell, as well as the watch system that allows ships to remain sailing around the clock. Today, I wish to expand on that information and give you a clearer picture of maritime timekeeping. One aspect of the bell system that often confounds the landsman is the peculiar manner in which we strike the ship's bell. You may suppose that 4 bells, for example, is struck like this. 5 bells, like this. And so on until 8 bells. But this is not in fact the case. Here is Richard Henry Dana Jr. to explain the proper manner in which to strike the ship's bell. The bells are sounded by 2 strokes following one another quickly, and then a short interval, after which 2 more, and so on. If it is an odd number, the odd one is struck alone after the interval. This makes the counting more sure and easy, and by this means you can at least tell whether it is an hour or a half hour. Allow me to demonstrate. Here is 4 bells struck in the correct manner. And here is 5 bells. If you're wondering how sailors knew when to strike the bell in the days before reliable clocks and marine chronometers were widely available, the answer is quite simple. Ships carried small half-hour sand glasses that were turned over by the helmsman as soon as they emptied. By this method, the bells and watches were measured out in half-hour increments. Another common misconception about the watch system is that every member of a ship's company is required to stand into watches, but this is not at all true. The crews of sailing vessels can be divided into groups in a variety of different ways. There is, for example, the distinction between a ship's officers and its regular sailors, or the division by level of experience between landsmen, ordinary seamen, and able seamen. There is even the division of the hands into port and starboard watches. But there is one other distinction that is too often overlooked. That between watch standers and those not required to stand watch. This second group generally includes warrant officers. That is, officers who do not hold a commission, but who are specialized professionals, such as the surgeon, gunner, purser, or carpenter. Also exempt from watch standing is the ship's captain, who is considered to be always on duty, but who does not have to stand the rigid 4 hours on and 4 off schedule of the rest of the ship's people. Those who do have to stand watch sometimes rather disdainfully call those who do not idlers. Herman Melville bemoaned the injustice of the system in his semi-autobiographical work, White Jacket. The Commodore, Captain, and First Lieutenant, Chaplain, Purser, and scores of others have all night in, just as if they were staying at a hotel on shore. And the junior lieutenants not only have their cots to go to at any time, but as only one of them is required to head the watch, and there are so many of them among whom to divide that duty, they are only on deck for 4 hours to 12 hours below. In some cases, the proportion is still greater, whereas with the people, it is 4 hours in and 4 hours off continually. Well, I hope this gives you a more nuanced picture of the traditional bell and watch system. There is, of course, always more to learn. There are, for example, systems with 3 watches instead of 2, fore, main, and mizzen, or red, white, and blue instead of port and starboard. But that, I'm afraid, is a topic for another day.